Who would be on your team's all-time lineup? Take the entire history of the NFL, the best of the best at every position on offense, defense, and special teams. Who would coach? It's now time to make your wildest dreams come true. Here is every team's ultimate lineup. Something to know up front. We schemed these lineups around talent. Formations are based on personnel. If your team has a history of legendary running backs, you'll be in the wishbone. We're looking at you, Chicago. Or if you have an elite QB with a deep pool of receivers, we're spreading it out. Have fun, Dan. Sound good?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, let's get it started with America's team on offense. You could flip a coin between Staubach or Aikman, but we're rolling with Captain Comeback at QB1. He led Dallas to 4 Super Bowls, winning a pair of Lombardis in the 1970s. Staubach won 75% of his starts and produced no shortage of monumental moments.
Well, the Cowboys need a miracle. Roger, he's going long. Down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5. Touchdown! Would you believe it? Staubach hit Pearson on a 50-yard touchdown.
The Cowboys boast a legendary trio of pass catchers: Michael Irvin, Bullet Bob Hayes, and soon-to-be Hall of Fame tight end Jason Witten. They're so deep we had to pencil in Drew Pearson and Des Bryant as reserves.
Emmett again. Emmitt Smith has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher.
Who else but Emmett leading the way at running back? 4-time NFL rushing leader, 3-time Super Bowl champ, and 1993 MVP. Tony Dorsett gets the spot alongside him, one of the top backs of the 70s and 80s. A star-studded unit with the best version of the Great Wall of Dallas in the trenches. It's hard to think anyone could stop them. Tom Landry's doomsday defense goes up a few notches. Quarterbacks beware, Bob Lilly, Randy White, DeMarcus Ware, and Micah Parsons lead a scary front 7. Hundreds of sacks and counting for this group.
Greasy forced to scramble. He's down inside the 10-yard line, and Bob Lilly has him.
Linebacker Chuck Howley is the only player to win a Super Bowl MVP on a losing team. There are a pair of gold jackets in the secondary as well. Mel Renfro and Cliff Harris put the clamps on receivers in the 1970s. Darren Woodson should be a Hall of Famer one of these days. He won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. As for Everson Walls, how about 34 picks in his first 5 seasons? He just gets the nod over Dion, who makes the team as a returner. Sanders was a 3-time All-Pro with the Cowboys and took 4 punts to the house from 1997 to 1999.
He got one here. He said there's always a crease.
From one colossal all-time team to another, we travel north to the Steel City for Pittsburgh's ultimate lineup. When you win 4 Super Bowls, you earn the starting spot at quarterback. While Big Ben outproduced Terry Bradshaw's numbers, the 70s gunslinger is unmatched in the championship department. Bradshaw gets a powerful backfield duo in the Bus and Franco Harris. After all, the Immaculate Reception did launch a decade of dominance, right?
Bradshaw running out of the pocket, looking for somebody to throw to, fires it downfield. And there's a collision. It's caught out of the air. The ball is pulled in by Franco Harris. He's in the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, a touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh's been a hotbed for receiving talent. You could go 5 wide easily here, but we landed on AB, Hines Ward, and John Stallworth. You get toughness, athleticism, and big-time playoff highlights. Don't forget Lynn Swann, he gets in the mix as a sub, too. Now comes perhaps the greatest all-time defense you'll see in this video. A shutout waiting to happen. This revamped steel curtain would put fear in the hearts of the very best. Up front, the D-line of L.C. Greenwood, Cam Hayward, Ernie Stautner, and Mean Joe Green.
I like to think that I played with rocket fuel as opposed to diesel. Diesel is powerful but slow and methodical. Rocket fuel is explosive.
On to the linebackers. The Jacks, Ham and Lambert, decimated their foes in the 1970s. Then you add TJ Watt to the mix and forget about it. They could play the run and the pass to perfection.
Hundley holds, steps up. Hundley sacks TJ Watt. Watt has tied Michael Strahan's single-season record, 22.5 sacks.
4 Hall of Famers hold down the secondary. Corners Mel Blount and Rod Woodson team up with safeties Jack Butler and Troy Polamalu, one of the most instinctive players in history.
They don't want to take any chances. Oh, Polamalu again jumping the gun.
No penalty on Polamalu.
No. So I jumped the gun on the call. Polamalu timed it perfectly.
Special teams look like this. Gary Anderson spent 13 of his 23 seasons with the Steelers, Bobby Walden on punting duty, and Rod Woodson putting in some OT in the return game. Okay, Philly, who's ready to debate? It's gotta be Jalen Hurts as QB1, right? A pair of trips to the Super Bowl where he played lights out in each. Hurts got the job done in 2024, winning the game's MVP.
Get it back. We're going to run some clock, or maybe throw the dagger. Hurts going deep for it all. Devontae Smith! He has got it! Touchdown!
He gets the nod over Donovan McNabb and Randall Cunningham. How do you leave off Saquon after his 2,000-yard season? Tough call, but we can't omit Shady or Steve Van Buren, who helped carry the Eagles to their first 2 NFL titles. Shout out to Brian Westbrook, too. Andy Reid gets a trio of Hall of Fame wideouts with Mike Quick in his back pocket. And check out that O-line. Peters, Johnson, and Kelsey all played together from 2013 to 2020.
1st and 10 Giants. Rutledge comes back to throw and is hammered by Reggie White. And Zone is to the left. And O'Brien back in the pocket. Under pressure, there's Reggie White.
Count how many bodies attempt to block White. What is considered by many the greatest pass-rushing defensive end in the National Football League.
Let's go to defense, where the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, leads one of the deepest collections of D-line talent in the league. He averaged over 15 sacks per season with the Birds. Jerome Brown, Fletcher Cox, and Clyde Simmons join with guys like Brandon Graham, Trent Cole, and Hugh Douglas rotating in. Hall of Famer Chuck Bednarik leads the linebackers, one of the toughest players to ever lace them up.
On 2nd and 8, picked off. And it's Dawkins with daylight. There he goes, Brian Dawkins. Touchdown.
The great Brian Dawkins headlines the secondary with fellow Hall of Famer Eric Allen on the outside. Troy Vincent and Malcolm Jenkins round it out.
And it's a line drive kick. Jackson bobbles it and now has to try and recover. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Deshaun Jackson still not in and now in for the touchdown, no flags.
You know, we didn't forget about D-Jacks. Philly's deep collection of wideouts pushed Deshaun Jackson to return man, a great problem to have. David Akers, by the way, most points in Eagles history. Andy Reid is one of 2 coaches to lead a pair of our all-time teams, as he also gets to draw up plays for Kansas City's greatest collection of talent. No question about the signal caller, as Patrick Mahomes has all but guaranteed a spot in the AFC Championship each year. The 2-time NFL MVP has revolutionized the position.
Escaping, on the move, Mahomes stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
And now he's going to find the receiver stop and the little push pass. Stop it.
Blitz, Mahomes jumps in the air and completes it. Look out! Afterburner time. Hardman to the end zone.
I mean, watch this. Yep.
Running backs Jamal Charles and Priest Holmes are no strangers to the end zone. Hall of Famers Willie Rofe and Will Shields lead the big boys up front. Factor in fullback Tony Richardson, and you've got a dominant run game. Tyreek Hill takes the lone wideout spot. His speed opens up the middle for the best tight end combo in the ultimate team universe.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! And the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff game in overtime.
Green to the end zone. Gonzalez, touchdown.
It's 1st down, Throwback. Throwing deep for Gonzalez. Oh! What a catch by Tony Gonzalez to the 5 of the Raiders.
Only 3 tight ends in history have reached 1,000 career catches. Kelsey and Gonzalez are 2 of them. A heck of a front 7 leads the defense. 4 gold jackets in that group, with Chris Jones soon to bring a 5th. Derek Thomas still holds the all-time record for sacks in a game.
You better get out of there. Look out. Derek Thomas on the prowl. Oh, what a hit. Derek Thomas is back in and sacking the quarterback. I do believe that's number 58 again. Officially, Derek Thomas has been given 7 sacks in this game.
I am so happy for him. He's having a ball.
He's having a record day.
Buck Buchanan, Willie Lanier, and Bobby Bell were instrumental in KC's success in the AFL and the eventual merger, as were Hall of Fame DBs Emmett Thomas and Johnny Robinson. They don't win Super Bowl IV without those legends, just missed out on a berry-cherry safety combo. KC's reserves are also loaded with talent.
Dancing, Middlebrooks can't get him. Now he's back inside the 5, it finds a seam. He's gone. He's got the kicker to beat, and that's Noor. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching something that has never happened before in the National Football League. 7 returns for a touchdown in 10 games.
If your nickname is the human joystick, you get a spot on the team. Dante Hall was a lethal returner in the early 2000s. Jan Stenerud and Dustin Colquitt handling the kicking duties. The 12s get the best of Seattle NFL history with a skew toward the most recent era of dominance. QB is Russell Wilson, not much debate there. 9 Pro Bowls in his first 10 seasons. There's no way the Hawks get to back-to-back Super Bowls without beast mode.
He's at the ball. Oh, look at this run. What a run. Marshawn Lynch still on his feet. Has blockers now. He's dancing his way for the touchdown.
Lynch's running mate is the great Sean Alexander, a scoring machine who won 2005 MVP with a then record 28 touchdowns. He helped Seattle reach their first Super Bowl. Hall of Famer Steve Largent leads the receiver group. Number 80 retired with the most touchdown catches in history. Doug Baldwin just edges out Tyler Lockett for that 3rd spot.
We all we got. We all we need. We all we got. We all we need. We all we got. We all we need.
Pete Carroll with the greatest collection of Seahawks defenders would be a sight to behold. Big Cortez Kennedy anchors the D-line alongside some underrated stars of the 80s and the 90s. The next level gets even better with future Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner, the best middle linebacker of his era.
Shotgun for Kaepernick, takes the snap, looks, fires near side, going for the end zone. Ball is picked up and afterward. Is it picked off? It is! It's picked off in the end zone!
When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
The all-time Legion of Boom features 2 originals, Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas. Those guys led the Seahawks to their first Super Bowl win in 2013. 3 decades prior, it was Kenny Easley and Dave Brown shutting down the passing game. Easley's enshrined in Canton, while Brown notched 50 career picks in Seattle. We mentioned Tyler Lockett earlier. The do-it-all speedster gets the nod at returner. He was named All-Pro as a rookie and then led the league in kick return yardage in 2017. Bills fans, what do we do at quarterback? Jim Kelly led the team to 4 straight Super Bowls, but it's this guy who passes the eye test.
Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes!
Muscles his way into the end zone! Are you kidding me? Game, set, match!
The 2024 MVP, Josh Allen, is on pace to shatter Kelly's passing records, and he's already scored 65 rushing touchdowns through 7 seasons. Behind Allen, the backfield duo of O.J. Simpson and Thurman Thomas. The latter won the 1991 MVP, while O.J. won it in 1973 with the first 2,000-yard season in history.
Simpson running left. Simpson breaking loose. And there it is! He needed 4 yards. He got 5. And this crowd, his whole team is gathering around him and congratulating him. Hit him on the head. There isn't a person sitting down. Give credit to these Jets fans. They came here to see him break the record. There's no doubt about it.
Hall of Fame guards Billy Shaw and Joe DeLamalure set the tone up front. The trio of Reed, Moulds, and Diggs would do serious damage to secondaries. Reed has a gold jacket, Moulds still holds the record for receiving yards in a playoff game, and Diggs had the most catches in the league from 2020 to 2023.
On second down, he's going to throw, and they're after him. He falls down in the end zone. A safety! The Bill was safety! It was Bruce Smith on top of him!
Who else but the sack king leading the ultimate Bills defense? Bruce Smith was an 8-time All-Pro and 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Smurless and Williams beef up the middle. Behind them is the linebacking unit of Stratton, Bennett, and Talley, big-time winners everywhere. Each member of this secondary was an All-Pro at one point, Tre'Davious White and Jordan Poyer leading the most recent charge in Buffalo. Steve Christie gets the kicker spot, just beating out Ryan Lindell. Punter Brian Moorman made back-to-back Pro Bowls, and return ace Terrence McGee took 5 kicks to the house between 2004 and 2007. A similar QB conundrum for you, cheeseheads. 3 icons to choose from. Bart Starr won the first 2 Super Bowls. Brett Favre won 3 straight MVPs, but we landed on Aaron Rodgers, 4 MVPs, Super Bowl champ, and Hail Mary King.
Rodgers in trouble. It's going to get there. He turned 32 yesterday. Does he have a vintage moment in him? In the end zone, it is caught for the win! Richard Rodgers!
When you have 3 Hall of Famers coming in as subs, you know your team is loaded. Jim Taylor gets the running back spot with Paul Hornung spelling him. We know Lombardi mastered the sweep, but with the talent outside, the Packers have to spread it out, right? 90 years of playmaking from this receiving corps.
To get something into the end zone. That's another rookie, Xavier Woods. This one, Adams, touchdown!
Quick snap, second down. Favre with daylight and time goes for the whole thing. Touchdown! Green Bay leads.
Don Hutson was a revelation in the 30s and 40s, 7-time NFL receiving leader in 11 seasons played. Sterling Sharp finally got the call to Canton, joining James Lofton, an uber-productive star in the 80s. Devontae Adams rounds it out, over 70 touchdowns in 8 seasons. Now comes the line. 5 spots, all 5 are Hall of Famers, 19 combined NFL championships between them. Doesn't get any better.
The ball down by 4. Mendenhall. Loss of football. Picked up by Bishop. Matthews and Pickett combined on the tackle to knock it out.
It's going to just be one Packer legacy. There's Reggie again.
Here's his pitch. And it is intercepted. Herb Adderley picks it up at the 40, 50, down to the 40, the 30, down to the 20, cuts away from Darryl Lamonica at the 5, and goes all the way for a touchdown.
What's the saying? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments? The legends continue on defense with 9 of these guys wearing gold jackets. Reggie White and Charles Woodson each won Defensive Player of the Year and a Super Bowl. Lombardi's defenses of the 60s were scary good with the likes of Nitschke, Jordan, Robinson, Adderley, and Wood. And did we mention it was safety Leroy Butler who invented the Lambeau Leap?
Screen, and he sets a screen up, and it's knocked down at the 38-yard line.
And a fumble.
Tackle. Do the Packers have the ball? Apparently they do.
And they're going to give it to the
Leroy Butler goes to the touchdown. It is a touchdown for Leroy Butler. Holy cow, and the fumble recovery. And the Packers go up 20-0.
Mason Crosby, far and away the all-time point scorer in Green Bay history. He played 16 seasons with the Pack. Super Bowl hero Desmond Howard is on return duty, a key X factor for the championship team in 1996. The 1990s brought the city of Denver its first 2 Super Bowls, and it's no wonder why their all-time offense is full of those winners.
Plenty of time for John, now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. Elway can run. Come on, John, come on. Come on. Inside the 10, head first. He dives inside the 5-yard line.
This one's for John.
John Elway is the franchise GOAT, leading the Broncos to 5 Super Bowls in his illustrious 16-year career, but it wasn't until TD came around when Denver captured those back-to-back Lombardis. Davis is among the exclusive 2,000-yard rusher club, too. Floyd Little completes the Hall of Fame backfield.
President, we need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots. If you leave now, you get a head start on traffic.
Brash, bold, and supremely talented, Shannon Sharpe is one of only 5 tight ends with over 10,000 yards. Outside him are Denver's 2 greatest wideouts, Rod Smith and Demaryius Thomas, elite production between them with 13 combined 1,000-yard campaigns, and each member of this O-line played on a Super Bowl team.
The Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure, and they've gotten to him. The ball is out in the end zone, and it's recovered by Malik Jackson. It was Von Miller with the strip sack.
Von Miller brings new life to Denver's famed Orange Crush defense. The Super Bowl 50 MVP is the team's all-time sack leader, and he leads a ferocious group of linebackers. Behind them are shutdown corners Champ Bailey and Lewis Wright.
Okoye up the middle, and he is knocked dead in his tracks. What a hit.
Atwater.
Wow, what a sock by Atwater.
We didn't even touch the safety duo of Atwater and Smith. That tandem paired up for 6 seasons. Smith played all 14 seasons in Denver, and Atwater finally made it into Canton in 2020. On special teams, it's the trio of Jason Elam, Tom Ruin, and Rick Upchurch. The latter made the Hall of Fame all-decade team in both the 70s and 80s.
I just felt like they had as much confidence in me as I had in myself, and that really meant a lot to me, and that just made me feel like I belonged here.
The moment it all changed for New Orleans. Sean Payton and Drew Brees were the saviors the Saints needed in 2006. Brees went on to retire with the most passing yards in league history. All due respect to Ingram and Deuce, but we're going with Alvin Kamara as the starting running back. He hasn't had a season with less than 1,100 yards from scrimmage yet.
Empty backfield. Brooks with time, rifles, touchdown Saints. Joe Horn pulls up the protective coating. There's a new one. He got his own phone. He hit his phone.
Brees gets Joe Horn, Marcus Colston, and Michael Thomas at his disposal. He helped make them all better during their days together. Who else but Jimmy Graham at tight end, 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns per season from 2011 to 2014. Let's go to the other side of the ball with Cam Jordan anchoring the D-line with Leroy Glover and Will Smith. Jordan's bound for Canton someday.
It was the defense that set the tone, led by the menacing presence of the Dome Patrol. 4 men who represent 13 Pro Bowl appearances. The Saints literally scared off the opposition.
They called them the Dome Patrol, an elite 4-man linebacker unit that crushed the competition. Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, Sam Mills, and Vaughn Johnson led the Saints to 3 straight playoff trips in the early 90s. Big shout-outs to Demario Davis and Jonathan Vilma, who get in as subs. The back 4 is covered with stalwarts. Jenkins and Harper were both on the 2009 Super Squad. Morton Anderson was the first modern-era kicker to be enshrined in Canton. Returner could go to Reggie Bush or Tyrone Hughes, but let's give it to the beer man, Michael Lewis. The ex-Budweiser truck driver turned into an All-Pro in 2002.
Miami not only won the Super Bowl, but had gone an entire season undefeated, a feat no other NFL team in history has accomplished.
Don Shula might be going undefeated again with this group. Dan Marino and his legendary quick release get a scary collection of receivers. The Marks brothers, Duper and Clayton, combined for over 17,000 yards. And how do you plan to stop Tyreek Hill and Paul Warfield at the same time? DBs would need to carry oxygen masks with them.
He fires and it is complete.
He's got Hill for race. 20, 36. Oh, he's a ghost.
It's not just sizzle, though. This Miami all-time team had the steak, too. Up front, you have 3 Hall of Famers, Jim Langer, Dwight Stevenson, and Larry Little, who we moved from guard to tackle. Who better to get the tough yards on the ground than power back Larry Zonka? Good luck to any defense trying to stop this group.
Play action fake, far back to throw it. And ball is stripped from the backside, and the Miami Dolphins have it. Going in the other direction is Jason Taylor.
That is a Pro Bowl play right there.
He's the greatest defender in Dolphins history. Jason Taylor leads an awesome defense with teammate Zach Thomas patrolling the middle of the field. Cam Wake brings an added pass rush element, and Hall of Famer Nick Bonaconte rounds out the linebacker group. The tandem of Madison and Surtain take the outside. Finally, the safeties, Jake Scott and Dick Anderson, 69 combined picks in Miami and teammates on Miami Super Bowl teams in the 70s. Super Bowl gaffe aside, kicker Garo Yepremian won 2 rings and made a couple All-Pro teams, and Reggie Roby could punt with the best of them. He was named to a pair of Pro Bowls in his time with the Fins. Chicago fans, your team has been around for over a century and there is a deep pool of talent to choose from. Let's get started with the offense. Run, and run some more.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it! Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher, surpassing Jim Brown, and that's the equivalent to Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. And listen to the standing ovation.
Bears backfield history gives us no other choice but to line them up in the wishbone. Walter Payton retired as the NFL's all-time rushing leader. Gale Sayers averaged close to 140 all-purpose yards per game. Don't forget fullback Bronco Nagurski, 3-time NFL champion. Sid Luckman and Mike Ditka form a Hall of Fame passing connection, the latter the first 1,000-yard tight end ever, and the line is rich with legends. All 5 members are in Canton.
Rodgers flushed out and now brought down by Urlacher.
There was an intensity about Mike Singletary like you saw with no one else. You saw the fire in his eyes and the passion in his eyes.
His 9-year career stands apart as the single most sustained work of devastation ever committed on a football field by anyone, anywhere, anytime.
The ultimate monsters of the Midway, Chicago's defensive history is right up there with Pittsburgh among the league's best. Every member of this front 7 is in the Hall. Dent and Hampton dominated the trenches in the 80s, with Dent winning Super Bowl 20 MVP. The linebacker group doesn't get much better. George, Butkus, Singletary, and Urlacher, somehow they all seem to succeed one another. Don't forget Peanut Tillman, a threat to punch the ball out at any time. Fensick and Pettibone complete the secondary.
Hovering kicks, it's Hester. Trying to work it back to the middle. Gets past the first wave, and here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
An icon out of the gates. Counting the playoffs, Devin Hester tallied 13 total return touchdowns in his first 2 seasons and left the game with an NFL record 20 for his career. Now, if there's one offense that has a shot to match the physicality of those Bears, it's this one.
And here goes Earl Campbell. He knocks Robertson on his back. Beautiful. Boy, did he hit Robertson.
Earl Campbell is strong.
Jump, there's your flag. Here comes Henry to the left with a stiff arm, throws a man down and goes out of bounds at the 40. Josh Norman, get you some.
As smash mouth as it will ever get, the Titans match Chicago with a wishbone offense of their own. We send prayers for anyone taking on Earl Campbell, Derrick Henry, and Eddie George. Did we mention Chris Johnson comes off the bench? Now here's the debate. Moon or McNair at QB? Moon was the better pure passer and a first ballot Hall of Famer, but McNair's overall record and Super Bowl appearance count too. If we're running the wishbone, it's McNair who gets the call, but not an easy one.
McNair gets away, runs for the first down and more. Steve McNair to the 10, touchdown.
Hennigan and Wycheck are your pass catchers, 2 gold jackets up front, Matthews and Munchak leading the charge, 23 Pro Bowls between them. Some added beef in the trenches, Tennessee gets a 5-man front. Elvin Bethea, Jarrell Casey, Curly Culp, Ray Childress, and the freak Javon Curse. Try stopping these guys.
Ball on the field, picked up by Javon Curse, and Curse baiting the defense.
Hall of Fame linebacker Robert Brazil gets added to the mix, as does Keith Bullock, who didn't miss a game from 2002 to 2008, Samari Rolle, Miller Farr, and Kevin Byard in the backfield. But the real star on this defense, Ken Houston. 10 defensive touchdowns in his first 5 seasons. At kicker, it's Al Del Greco alongside Brett Kern. Billy White Shoes Johnson starred for the Love Ya Blue Oilers. He made the Hall of Fame All-Decade team in the 70s and 80s. Now we turn to an offense that might score 50 points per game. This really is the greatest show on turf.
11 plays, 11 passes for the Rams, and here comes number 12 into the end zone. Touchdown!
Warner dumps it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams! Throws the end zone. Touchdown, Rams! Torrey Holt, the rookie!
Kurt Warner leads a superb collection of playmakers. 4 of 5 are in the Hall, and you know Torrey Holt will be there soon. They can run it down your throat with Eric Dickerson, or finesse you to death, as we saw with those great teams from 99 to 01.
Warner firing downfield. Isaac Bruce, touchdown!
What else can Marshall Faulk do for this football team?
It's a track meet. They don't need a football, they need a baton.
It's the fastest football team I've ever seen.
Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch has to be here. His 1951 season is the stuff of legend. The depth is ridiculous. We couldn't find a spot for Todd Gurley, Steven Jackson, or Henry Ellard. Cooper Kupp, anyone? 3 Hall of Famers on the O-line. Pace, Mack, and Slater set the foundation up front. A new version of LA's fearsome foursome adds perhaps the greatest D-tackle to ever do it. Aaron Donald teams with Merlin Olsen, Jack Youngblood, and Deacon Jones, a quarterback's worst nightmare.
Burrow to throw for it. He's hit. He flings it away on 4th down. Aaron Donald got there. The greatest of all time on defense does it in the biggest moment of Super Bowl 56.
The pressure keeps coming with Kevin Green at outside linebacker. He averaged 15 sacks per season from 1988 to 1990. Cromwell and Metter up top at safety, while Leroy Irvin and Super Bowl champ Jalen Ramsey take the corner spots. Former teammates Greg Zuerlein and Johnny Hecker get the nod on special teams. Olympic sprinter turned All-Pro Ron Brown handles return duties. On to Cincinnati. It's definitely a competition at quarterback. Anderson, Palmer, Esiason, and Dalton all had their moments in the Queen City, but it's the current signal caller who lands the starting spot.
Touchdown! Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase.
Burrow now scrambling, fires deep downfield for Higgins, jumps up, catches the ball, a 75-yard touchdown! Let's go, baby!
Joe Burrow's been phenomenal when healthy, leading the Bengals to a pair of AFC Championship games. He gets weapons galore on this offense. Jamar Chase, A.J. Green, and Chad Johnson is the trio no secondary wants to see.
Makes a move inside the 5. Touchdown, Ocho Cinco!
Corey Dillon does the downhill running while James Brooks offers an added element in the passing game. Burrow won't need to worry about his blind side with Anthony Munoz around, arguably the greatest tackle in NFL history. Willie Anderson solidifies the other side. The strength of this defense is up front. Geno Atkins made 8 Pro Bowls. Tim Krumrie was an All-Pro in 1988, and Trey Hendrickson averaged 14 sacks per season from 2021 to 2024.
Down and 8. Bengals bring 5-man pressure. Fields in trouble. Ball is out. Loose on the turf, and Fields is able to recover it.
Linebackers Reggie Williams and Jim LeClaire each played their entire careers with the franchise. Corner Ken Riley sits 5th all-time with 65 career interceptions. He was finally enshrined in Canton in 2023. Across the field, it's Lamar Parrish, who made 6 Pro Bowls in Cincy. And he also gets the role as return man. The dynamic playmaker scored 5 times in the kicking game from 1970 to 1974.
Mitchell gives to Sanders, and Sanders has got some room to operate. Barry Sanders inside the 10, touchdown.
Detroit's all-time team is in great hands with number 20 in the backfield. Barry's on the Mount Rushmore of running backs. 3-time NFL champ Bobby Lane is the quarterback. Dutch Clark and Doak Walker off the bench, Hall of Famers from yesteryear. The pass catchers on this team, sensational.
From the 17.
Looking for Megatron, and it's a touchdown.
On first down all day for Stafford, who goes to the end zone. Jump ball. Megatron is in for the touchdown.
Megatron, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Herman Moore on the outside, while Charlie Sanders brings his gold jacket to the locker room. A mix of eras up front. Lou Creekmer anchors the O-line, 6 All-Pro selections in a 7-year span. As one of the oldest teams in the league, plenty of talent to choose from Detroit's pro football history, and their defense is absolutely stacked. Starting with the secondary, not sure it'll get better. All 4 Hall of Famers combined for 214 career interceptions.
Over the next 13 seasons, the 6'1", 220-pound Schmidt became the model for all future middle linebackers. Blessed with shrewd football intellect that equaled his athletic talent, Joe was a virtual coach on the playing field.
Joe Schmidt's considered one of the best middle linebackers in NFL history, 8-time All-Pro between 1954 and 1962. He lines up alongside Chris Spielman. The 5-man D-line features Alex Karras, Al Bubba Baker, and Ndamukong Suh. Between the pass rush and the secondary, how do you handle this collection? One of those safeties pulls double duty as Yale Larry led the league in punting average in 3 different seasons. Mel Gray, 3-time All-Pro return man. People forget that.
Just win, baby.
We think the Raiders would do nothing but win with these guys. 9 Hall of Famers make up their offense. Among the top units in this video, Ken Stabler beats out Jim Plunkett and Daryl LaMonica at QB1. Snake led the Silver and Black to their first Super Bowl win in 1976.
Here's Marcus Allen. Cutting back upfield, and Marcus Allen could be gone.
The graceful Marcus Allen leads the ground game, while the receivers provide a perfect blend of skills. Cliff Branch, Tim Brown, and Fred Biletnikoff are joined by the man who gave us the ghost to the post.
Stabler back to throw. He sets the fighter receiver. Takes another look, lobs it upfield. Here is Casper. He's got it at the Baltimore 15-yard line.
Dave Casper starts at tight end with Todd Christensen right on his heels. The line is simply legendary. Otto calling out signals to Upshaw, Shell, Kennedy, and Wisniewski.
And he looks and throws. Intercepted by the Oakland Raiders. Willie Brown at the 30, 40, 50. He's going all the way. Old man Willie. Touchdown Raiders.
It's a DB-heavy look on defense with this vast collection of star corners. Charles Woodson, Mike Haynes, Old Man Willie Brown, and Lester Hayes lock down the passing game. They get help at the top with Jack Tatum. In the trenches, it's Howie Long powering the D-line, next to Big Chester McLaughlin and Khalil Mack, the 2016 Defensive Player of the Year. Linebackers are the great Ted Hendricks and Super Bowl 15 hero Rod Martin. Did you know the Raiders are the only team to draft a kicker and punter in the first round? Both of them turned out to be great picks. Seabass and Ray Guy handle special teams, with Tim Brown coming back in for returns. It took Tom Brady all of 1 year to lead Tampa to its first Lombardi trophy in nearly 20 years. And even though his stint was short, he made the playoffs in all 3 seasons with the Bucs, throwing for nearly 15,000 yards. And he threw a lot, most notably to Mike Evans, as automatic as a receiver gets, 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career.
Handoff Allstott, running right. Allstott shakes the tackle, shakes and bakes the tackle, keeps his balance, goes back to the left. Allstott 2-1, touchdown Tampa Bay!
The A-Train, Mike Allstott, is Tampa's all-time leader in rushing touchdowns, more beast than man. Allstott ran through defenders during the Bucs' greatest era. And don't forget the name Jimmy Giles. The tight end was named to 4 Pro Bowls in a 6-year stretch in the 1980s. As dangerous as any collection in league history, Tampa's all-time defense is chock full of legends from their Super Bowl squad in 2002.
3rd and 18, and this is going to write a finish. Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl.
You can run, but you can't hide. There are playmakers across the field. 5 Hall of Famers if you add in Leroy Selman. Then you look at guys like Hardy Nickerson, Gerald McCoy, and Simeon Rice, some of the best of their era. It's a stacked group that would be problematic for any opponent. You know we're including the great Martin Gramatica. The Argentine kicker brought the points and the excitement for 6 years in Tampa. The dangerous Carl Williams gets the spot at returner, took a team record 5 punts to the house. Cleveland fans, we know you're still looking for that first Super Bowl, but your ultimate lineup features a prestigious crew of winners from the Paul Brown era.
Cleveland is overjoyed. The Browns are the champions of the world again.
Gold jackets everywhere on offense. All but one player is in Canton, and that's Jim Ray Smith, a 3-time All-Pro guard. Otto Graham was the Tom Brady of his era, 7 Pro Football championships to his name, and we all know about the great Jim Brown.
Jim Brown was a titan.
Most dominant player to ever step on any athletic field.
This is Jim Brown, the most devastating ball carrier in the history of football.
Brown won MVP as a rookie and never looked back. Many consider him the greatest athlete to step foot on the gridiron. He shares touches with Leroy Kelly in the backfield, with Marion Motley also in the mix. The Hall of Fame trio of Paul Warfield, Dante Lavelli, and Ozzie Newsome would test any secondary. Tackles Joe Thomas and Lou Groza anchor this dominant O-line.
Be a 2nd down and 6, and Prescott looking to throw it, has some pressure, and down he goes. The hometown boy, Myles Garrett, who grew up in Arlington, delivers.
Today, it's Myles Garrett wreaking havoc on the Browns' defense. He lines up next to Bill Willis, a man who helped reintegrate pro football in the 1940s. Teammates Clay Matthews Jr. and Chip Banks take 2 of the 3 linebacker spots. Matthews played a whopping 16 years in Cleveland. More greats from the 80s with Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield locking down the outside. Safeties are Darden and Turner. Each led the league in picks at one point.
He has this one at the 25. Metcalf to the outside with room. Metcalf at midfield. Metcalf cuts back. He's still on his feet. Metcalf will go for the score. Unbelievable.
With 18 unanswered points. That touched the fingertips of Cribbs. He has to pick it up. It was stuck right just outside the goal line. And the high wire act down the sideline. He did not step out. There is no signal he stepped out. He's got Hyden out in front of him. Cribbs could take it all the way for the touchdown, Cleveland.
Josh Cribbs or Eric Metcalf, that's a flip of the coin, and it's landed on Cribbs, who scored 8 return touchdowns. And if your nickname is the Toe, you get the kicker spot. Lou Groza, the only player in this video, splitting time at tackle and kicker. Another painfully close call pits Johnny U against Peyton Manning for the right to throw passes on the Colts all-time team.
And Manning, he's got it! Manning's got the record!
We ultimately gave the nod to the sheriff, but maybe these legends can coexist sharing the huddle. Might be easy with a bevy of playmakers all over the place. Lenny Moore in the backfield, Edge and Jonathan Taylor spelling him, an insanely gifted set of receivers too, 3 Hall of Famers with Reggie Wayne on his way soon. John Mackey is up there among the greatest tight ends as well.
Pump fake, and they go long for the first time for Harrison. Oh my Lord! What a catch!
Marvin Harrison averaged 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns per season from 1999 to 2006, a big reason for Manning's 4 MVPs in Indy. Parker, Saturday, and Nelson lead the way in the trenches. A ferocious front 4 leads this Colts defense. Gino Marchetti is surely on the team's Mount Rushmore. Art Donovan won a pair of NFL titles in the 50s, and you know we're going to spotlight the combination of Freeney and Mathis, a duo that made life miserable for quarterbacks in the 2000s.
From the 45, McNair fakes the draw, and sacked! Dwight Freeney, the whistle blew that play dead. And McNair steps up, fumble, and recovered! Robert Mathis knocked it loose.
Hall of Fame linebacker Ted Hendricks won Super Bowl V with Baltimore. The vastly underrated Mike Curtis lines up next to him. In the back, it's Bob Sanders doing what he does best. The ultimate enforcer was the 2007 Defensive Player of the Year. Did you know Adam Vinatieri spent more time with the Colts than the Patriots? 14 years in Indy, playing until the golden age of 47. One of the NFL's oldest teams, the New York Giants, have been around for over a century. During that time, there may not have been a greater play than this one.
Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
Eli Manning's heroics in Super Bowl 42 and later Super Bowl 46 earned him the QB1 spot. That's a big deal considering Y.A. Tittle and Fran Tarkenton each have led the G-Men at one point. NFL champ and Hall of Famer Frank Gifford did it all in New York. Tiki brings consistency, averaging over 1,300 yards per season from 2000 to 2006.
Play action. And Manning's going to heave one. There's a flag. Beckham, a one-handed catch. How in the world?
Oh, my goodness. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
This franchise has been no stranger to epic catches. Rookie Odell Beckham Jr. burst onto the scene in 2014 and changed the game. The one-handed grab has become commonplace in today's NFL. Del Schaffner and Mark Bavaro are your other pass catchers. And the line is full of winners. Each member captured either an NFL title or Super Bowl.
Jaworski, sacked. Jaworski is sacked by Lawrence Taylor. Can't find anybody, but can buy some time. Lawrence Taylor took Cunningham down.
Who else but LT leading this group, arguably the greatest defensive player ever, spearheads Bill Parcells' collection of legends. Michael Strahan brings the pressure from the other side. He still holds a share of the single-season sack record. Hall of Famer Sam Huff controls the middle of the field, and LT's teammate Harry Carson rounds out the linebackers. Emlyn Tunnell leads the secondary, 79 career interceptions, second most in NFL history. Three-time All-Pro punter Sean Landeta won a pair of Lombardis in New York. Kicker Pete Gogolak brought in soccer-style kicking to pro football, and he nearly started a war between the AFL and NFL in the 1960s.
I got news for you, buddy. We're going to win the game, I guarantee it.
The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions. They have upset the Baltimore Colts and beat them handily here today.
Speaking of the AFL, it was New York's other pro football team that helped spark the merger between both leagues. Broadway Joe Namath leads the Jets' all-time offense. Behind him are Freeman McNeil and Curtis Martin. The latter was a sure bet for a 1,000-yard season. Martin averaged close to 1,400 yards per year from 98 to 2004. McNeil played 12 seasons with the Jets, gaining over 11,000 yards from scrimmage.
Namath looking for the end zone, throwing, touchdown to Maynard. Joe Namath throwing to Don Maynard.
Hall of Famer Don Maynard is New York's all-time leading receiver, and his teammate George Sauer was no slouch either. The super reliable Wesley Walker had 9 seasons with 5 or more touchdowns. A couple Gold Jackets up front, Kevin Mawai and Winston Hill anchor the O-line with great depth behind them.
6-year veteran Mark Gastineau produced 22 sacks to lead the NFL for the second straight season.
The other side of the trenches is just as loaded. The Jets have a rich history of D linemen, so we're giving them a 5-2 treatment. Mark Gastineau and Joe Klecko terrorized QBs in the 80s. Then it was John Abraham's turn, before Quinnen Williams carried the tradition of dominance into today's era.
Throws it right, intercepted, picked off by Revis to the 10-5, touchdown.
The corners, elite. Darrelle Revis was perhaps the best DB of his era, and Sauce Gardner was named All-Pro in each of his first 2 seasons. Add in some unheralded glue guys like Mo Lewis and Victor Green. Now you've got yourself a relentless unit just as good against the run as they are the pass. Pat Leahy and Tom Tupa were All-Pros at one point, and give it up for Leon Washington. The man quietly scored the second most kick return touchdowns in NFL history.
And he's going to throw a long bomb and a one-handed grab. Caught, Carter, touchdown!
First down from the 48-yard line. Randall going deep again, adjusting his Moss, and then Randy Moss squeezes his way in for the touchdown.
4th and 18, he's given time. He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson pulled it in!
Now, an offense doesn't get much more fun than this one. Video game type stuff here. Scrambling Fran Tarkenton, throwing up passes to the trio of Carter, Moss, and Jefferson. Good luck to your all-time secondaries. And if that wasn't enough, you still have Adrian Peterson and Chuck Foreman in the backfield.
Still alive. First down for Adrian Peterson down the sideline. Adrian Peterson is inside the 20 and gonna score.
AP was 2012 MVP, gaining over 2,000 yards, and Foreman was a legit dual threat, averaging about 50 catches per season in the 1970s. The line is just as scary with 4 Hall of Famers in this group, and look at all the backups, playmakers all over the place. Switching sides now with a defense stacked in the trenches. Like the Jets, Minnesota has been super fortunate with linemen. All 5 guys up front are in the Hall of Fame.
99 to go for the Packers. Here comes Allen, picked up by Grant. There's the safety. Jared Allen again.
That is a butt kicking right there. We're talking about a little guy just annihilating a big man.
Alan Page's been all over the field all afternoon.
But it was Alan Page who really did it. Double H.
Number 88, Alan Page, was the first man to get to the ball carrier.
Page, number 88, in my opinion, is one of the finest defensive tackles in football.
They're so good, in fact, we had to make Jim Marshall and Kevin Williams rotational players. Alan Page was the first defensive player to win MVP. The trio of Randall, Allen, and Dolman totaled nearly 300 sacks with the Vikes. DBs Carl Lee and Joey Browner held it down in the 80s. After Paul Krause left his mark on the game, he's the NFL all-time leader in interceptions.
Darrell 4 yards deep near side, angles to the 5, comes to the near side of the 15 to the 20, goes to the left of the 30. Heading loose! Darrell Patterson is gone!
We mentioned Leon Washington just moments ago. The only man with more kick return touchdowns is Cordarrelle Patterson with 9. Kicker Fred Cox played all 15 seasons in Minnesota, leading the league in field goals made 3 times. The Chargers have been blessed with some elite arms over the years. Hadel, Breeze, Rivers, but it's Dan Fouts who leads their ultimate offense.
Cox is out, he's gonna run, now he throws, there's a man open, James Brooks, touchdown, San Diego with 59 seconds to play.
Number 14 was well ahead of his time, pacing the league in passing yards every year from 1979 to 1982. Gold jackets all around him. Receiver Lance Allworth was a monster in the AFL, helping San Diego win the league title back in 1963. And you want tight ends? Look no further. Gates and Winslow give Kelsey and Gonzalez a run for their money as the best all-time duo. Last but not least, it's perhaps the greatest Charger ever, LaDainian Tomlinson toting the rock, 153 glorious touchdowns in 9 seasons.
Tomlinson off the left side, Tomlinson sidesteps. Hello, history books.
You think of all the legends of the game, whether it's a Jim Brown or a Gale Sayers, and no one has ever raised the bar to 29 until now.
On defense, it's a nasty front four led by Fred Dean and Gary Johnson. The teammates anchored the Chargers defense of the 70s and 80s. And don't sleep on linebacker Leslie O'Neal. He averaged almost 12 sacks per season in 9 years with the Bolts.
3rd and 7, here comes the blitz, and Elway down at the 25.
Junior Seau is the headliner, a Pro Bowler every year from 1991 to 2002. Seau was always around the ball and led San Diego to the Super Bowl in 1994. Behind him, Rodney Harrison and Derwin James. Those two would cause chaos versus the run or pass. After a career in Aussie rules football, Darren Bennett turned into an all-pro punter in the NFL, and back returning kicks is the versatile Darren Sproles. What couldn't that guy do?
They continue to run him. He is in for the touchdown.
The 2015 MVP is your QB1 in Carolina. Cam Newton is among the greatest dual-threat quarterbacks the league has ever seen. Panthers fans, this one was tough, but it's CMC over D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. We just couldn't ignore McCaffrey's 2019 season.
Give to McCaffrey, trying to get around the right side, he does. McCaffrey leaps, end zone, oh, touchdown! Up and in!
the third player to ever record 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving yards in the same season. Instead, we opted for a 2 tight end set. Wesley Walls and Greg Olsen give Cam some help. 8 combined Pro Bowls there.
DeLone fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flags down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
No better Panthers playmaker than Steve Smith. He's on the outside alongside teammate Muhsin Muhammad. Those two helped Carolina make Super Bowl 38. Center Ryan Khalil and left tackle Jordan Gross solidified the O-line. A terrifying front seven is led by Julius Peppers and Luke Kuechly, 2 freaky good athletes that had instincts to take over games.
4-man pressure, and Wilson in trouble. Flicks it out of the backfield, picked off Kuechly, angling right, 10, 5, touchdown!
Peppers is in the hall with Kuechly soon to follow. Brian Burns, Thomas Davis, and John Beeson, 3 more beasts that offenses would need to account for. You know it's a deep group of linebackers when Kevin Green and Sam Mills aren't starting. The secondary boasts 2015 All-Pro Josh Norman and hard-hitting safety Mike Minter. On special teams, it's John Casey leading the way, an original Panther back in 1995. He spent 16 years in Carolina. 5-time Pro Bowler Michael Bates handles return duties.
Here's a 2nd down and 3. Jackson takes it himself. Look at him dart back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles. Now he's got an entourage. And he's got a touchdown. He is Houdini.
On pace to become the greatest rushing quarterback of all time, it's his passing that puts Lamar Jackson into legendary territory. 2 NFL MVPs before the age of 27. Not the greatest wide receiver depth for Baltimore, so we're giving them a double tight end set. Heap and Andrews are more than enough to get it done, but this offense is built to run.
Dual tight end look, and it's Jamal Lewis. Got an opening. I'd say he's going to get his touches. After 1, he has 6. Touchdown, 82 yards.
Jamal Lewis gained over 2,000 yards alone in 2003. Ray Rice averaged almost 1,900 yards from scrimmage per season from 2009 to 2012, both Super Bowl champs. Hall of Famer Jonathan Ogden was the first pick in Ravens history. Marshall Yanda made 8 Pro Bowls, and young stud Tyler Linderbaum has already done enough in our eyes to start at center.
Let's be who we are today. Let's be the Ravens, though. Let's play fast, physical, and pissed off.
Ray Lewis was drafted with Ogden in '96 and turned this franchise into a powerhouse. 2 Super Bowls and 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. A beefed-up line led by Haloti Ngata stands in front of more great linebackers. T-Sizzle amassed over 130 sacks in 16 years with the Ravens. Today, it's Roquan, Hamilton, and Humphrey continuing the tradition, but all eyes should be on Ed Reed, the greatest ball hawk you'll ever see.
Throws into the end zone. It's intercepted by Ed Reed. He gets away from Cobb, and he is still going down the sideline. Fred Selleck trying to cut him off. Reed needs 1 more block. He goes all the way. Touchdown.
Justin Tucker, the obvious choice at kicker, but return man is certainly debatable. While we went with 2012 playoff hero Jacoby Jones, we want to shout out Jermaine Lewis, who won a Lombardi with Baltimore in 2000. The oldest team in NFL history is led by a 3-headed monster at receiver that includes the greatest player in franchise history.
With time, fires over the middle to Fitz, caught at the 45, 50, Fitz is loose, 40, 30, goodbye! Cardinals lead! Touchdown! Larry Fitzgerald!
Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, and Roy Green are joined by tight end Jackie Smith as targets in the passing game. 18 1,000-yard seasons among them. Quarterback Jim Hart won games for the Cards in 3 different decades. Hall of Fame halfback Ollie Matson was named All-Pro in each of his first 5 seasons as starter. The line is in great hands with tackle Dan Deerdorf. Playmakers Charlie Trippi and Otis Anderson bring versatility off the bench.
This is the face of an all-pro safety. Larry Wilson led the National Football League in interceptions with 10.
A collection of defensive backs that would make any team envious. The Cardinals have it all in the secondary. Larry Wilson, Night Train Lane, and Aeneas Williams all have gold jackets. And we know this guy will have one soon.
Got a 9.
Davis sidearms it. It's tipped away. And it's intercepted. It's again. Patrick Peterson counted for the Cardinals. Touchdown.
Pair of dominant pass rushing forces with Chandler Jones and Calais Campbell outside, and don't forget Simeon Rice off the bench. D-tackle Eric Swan fortifies the middle. While Pat P could have easily made kick returner, it's the great Terry Metcalf who earns the role. The all-around dynamo led St. Louis to 3 straight 10-win campaigns and finished top 3 in MVP voting twice. From the oldest franchise to the youngest, Houston's all-time team has had less than a quarter century to marinate, but like Arizona, the Texans have a wide receiver room that would make any defense tremble.
When they figure out how to really get him the football, I think there's plenty more opportunities to get him involved in this offense, and I think it's a trip that Andre Johnson's going to make annually for quite some time.
Watch Hopkins and DeAndre with a touchdown. Hopkins with a juggling grab. Does he make it? Toe tapper yet?
Andre Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins, a pair that dominated the league for 2 combined decades, each made consecutive All-Pro teams at their best. They haul in passes from Deshaun Watson, the 2020 NFL passing leader. He led Houston to a pair of division titles. Pass protection comes from tackles Dwayne Brown and Laramie Tunsil, and no surprise at running back, Arian Foster racked up 62 touchdowns in a 66-game stretch from 2010 to 2014.
Oh boy! Foster down the sideline. Foster still running. Coach could be in the game. Touchdown.
Switching sides now, D'Amico Ryans becomes the only player coach in the Ultimate Team universe, a 2-time Pro Bowl linebacker for Houston. He later became Texans head coach in 2023. 2 playoff wins and counting, but we all know the main attraction here.
Batted down and intercepted. Intercepted by J.J. Watt. Touchdown, Houston.
J.J. Watt was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and the greatest player to wear a Texans uniform. Over 100 sacks in his 10 years there. Clowney and Williams are no joke either. The 3 up front are sure to wreak havoc. The cornerback trio of Joseph, Stingley, and Jackson patrol the skies. Kaimi Fairbairn is Houston's all-time leading scorer, and there's the late, great Jacoby Jones again, making another ultimate lineup as returner. 3-time Super Bowl winning coach Joe Gibbs loved the ground game, but with this roster, it would be a sin to shy away from the pass.
Sammy Ball would be a combination of today's version of Tom Brady, Brian Moorman, and Ed Reed. 3 all-star players at their positions all rolled into one.
Slingin' Sammy Baugh, the league's first pure passer, led Washington to a pair of NFL titles in the 30s and 40s. He spreads it out to a group of 4 playmakers led by Art Monk, the NFL's all-time receptions leader at one point.
Ripping his back, looking for Monk on the out pattern. He's got it at the 27, out of bounds at the 23. Art Monk is now number 1, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history.
Joining Monk outside are fellow Hall of Famers Bobby Mitchell and Charlie Taylor, and Gary Clark won a pair of Lombardis alongside Monk. The Hogs and the Diesel, Washington's dominant O-line, paved the way for John Riggins, one of the toughest backs you'll ever find.
There's the snap, hand to Riggins, good hold, he's got the first down to the 40, he's gone, the 35, the 30, the 20, he's gone! Touchdown, Washington Redskins!
The offense is built to pass, and the defense is built to defend it. DNs Man and Manley bring the pressure from the edge. Hall of Fame linebacker Chris Hanberger played 14 years in Washington, and as you can see, there is no shortage of fantastic DBs here.
Draw play, Dorsett, and look out. Uh-oh, this could be bye-bye. He has great speed down the sideline. Tony Dorsett.
And look who caught him.
And Tony Dorsett goes down. Only one man on the field could catch him. Darrell Green, the world-class sprinter from Texas A&I.
4 gold jackets in the back 5. Darrell Green and Champ Bailey are your corners. Many consider Green the fastest player ever. 3 more ball hawks in Taylor, Houston, and Krause. Those safeties could play anywhere on the field. Did you know Mark Mosley is the only kicker in league history to win MVP? Brian Mitchell is the NFL all-time leader in return yardage, 4,000 more than the next guy. The Jaguars peaked just as the franchise was launched, so it's no surprise this collection has a 90s feel.
Takes the snap, turns, looking for Jimmy in the end zone. Touchdown Jaguars! Touchdown Jaguars! Touchdown Jaguars!
In 1996, Mark Brunell led the league in passing, coming up one game short of Super Bowl 31. His receivers that year make the ultimate lineup too. Keenan McCardle and Jimmy Smith were phenomenal together.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go. Yeah. Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. A 90-yard run.
Fred Taylor joined the fun a couple years later, 7 1,000-yard seasons with the Jags. He gets help in the backfield from MJD. The do-it-all star was the 2011 NFL rushing leader, and the O-line features the only player in team history to have a bust in Canton. That's Tony Baselli, another star from the 90s. It's an 8-man box for Jacksonville's all-time defense. Who's running against these guys? Stroud and Henderson fortify the middle, while Calais Campbell pressures the passer. He was an All-Pro in 2017, leading the Jags to the AFC title game. The next level gives us 4 fantastic linebackers. Josh Hines Allen is crushing QBs today. He keeps the tradition alive set by Hardy, Posluszny, and Peterson.
Peterman from the gun. Here we go. Pass, tipped, and intercepted by Ramsey to close it out.
Only 3 DBs on the team, so they'll have to play lights out. Shouldn't be an issue with Jalen Ramsey outside. Rashean Mathis played a decade in Jacksonville, and Donovan Darius brought the boom in the early 2000s. MJD gets in on special teams as well. He averaged nearly 2,000 all-purpose yards per season in his first 4 campaigns. We know it's been a struggle for you Falcons fans, but 60 years of history has its benefits. Stars galore on offense, but it's the legendary connection of Matty Ice to Julio Jones that takes the Falcons to another level.
Oh, what a catch! Touchdown! He comes with a blitz. Falcons pick it up, and there's Jones. Flag is down. Julio Jones with a catch. Still going. Still inbounds. Touchdown! New England trying to get there. Matt up in the pocket. Now going to cut it loose, looking for Julio. What a catch! Unbelievable!
Jones averaged close to 1,600 yards per season from 2014 to 2019. Ryan was the 2016 MVP and also had the luxury of throwing to Roddy White and Tony Gonzalez. White still leads all Falcons in TD grabs. Mike Ken and Jeff Van Note played a combined 35 years in Atlanta. They open up holes for Michael the Burner Turner, a prized free agent signing who scored 61 touchdowns in a 5-year span. The defense is balanced with talent from different eras. Hall of Famer Claude Humphrey leads the D-line, and the 3 linebackers are tackling machines. Keith Brooking and Jesse Tuggle each made 5 trips to the Pro Bowl, and legend has it Tommy Nobis racked up 294 tackles as a rookie in 1966.
49ers on top, 6-3. Montana going up top for Rice. Intercepted by Sanders.
The long fade. Deion Sanders picks it off with one hand.
Intercepted. And Deion is off to the races.
But the true star here is primetime. Deion Sanders was an instant sensation in Atlanta. He's joined in the secondary by Roland Lawrence and Ray Brown, great DBs from the 70s. Don't forget Scott Case, a league-high 10 picks in 1988.
And Sanders retreats back to the 32, drops the ball again.
Deion Sanders told us yesterday that for every touchdown he gets on a punt return, he will give the blocking people 3 choices: a Gucci watch, a bunch of money, or a gold chain. Right now, he just forked up about $5,000 of that bonus money he got yesterday.
More prime never hurt anybody. Sanders retired with the most return touchdowns in league history.
And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions! We're Super Bowl champions! Back-to-back. 3 out of 4.
Intercepted! They have completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. The Patriots have won their 6th Super Bowl title.
This century's greatest dynasty was spearheaded by Brady and Belichick, two icons who will be covered for the next 100 years. But who else deserves to be on New England's all-time team? Let's begin with the pass catchers. Brady threw to Moss and Welker during his record-breaking 2007 season. Moss hauled in 23 touchdowns that year, also a record. Welker led the league in catches 3 times. Stanley Morgan was a legit home run threat, playing 13 seasons with the Pats. Running back Curtis Martin helped lead New England to the Super Bowl in 1996.
Field again, 2nd down and 3. Brady back to the end zone, and did he put it in? Gronkowski says yes, and the official agrees. Touchdown, New England.
Gronk is one of one. Will we ever see another player like him? Up front, it's Hall of Famer John Hanna leading the way. Many consider him the best guard ever. Belichick gets the best Patriots defense possible. Good thing he coached most of these guys. 5 gold jackets in this group. Andre Tippett was a sack machine in the 1980s. Between him and the cornerbacks, the pass defense is accounted for.
Has to let it go, picked off. Ty Law down the sidelines, touchdown.
Richard Seymour, Willie McGinnis, and Lawyer Malloy helped propel New England to their first Super Bowl in 2001. And let's mention the reserves. Vrabel, Bruschi, and Hightower were all champion linebackers in their day.
Here comes one of greater importance if he makes it, and it's right down the pipe.
It's good! It's good! The Patriots are Super Bowl champions!
No question about the kicker. No one was ever more clutch than Adam Vinatieri. Troy Brown, the ultimate glue guy. We couldn't omit him from the Patriots' all-time team. We end it on one of the league's most prestigious franchises, and with a play that kick-started their 2 decades of dominance.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight Clark!
Joe Montana's game winner to Dwight Clark in the 1981 NFC Championship put San Francisco on the map. Joe Cool would go on to win 4 Super Bowls and 2 league MVPs. Bill Walsh gets Joe Perry and Hugh McElhaney in the backfield, members of the famed $1 Million backfield. Frank Gore and Roger Craig come in as subs, nearly impossible to leave them out. Arguably the top receiving tandem in this feature, Jerry Rice and T.O. combined for nearly 28,000 receiving yards with the Niners. George Kittle rounds out the elite cast of playmakers, and the line is full of Walsh's guys. Sapolu, McIntyre, and Cross fill the interior. Trent Williams was a close call over Joe Staley at tackle. San Francisco's D-line is as stout as they come. Hall of Famer Leo Nomalini was one of the best defenders of the 1950s, 10 Pro Bowls and 6 All-Pro selections. Super Bowl champ Bryant Young is also in Canton.
Shotgun to Manning, takes the snap, standing in. Gonna be pressure from the right, breaks away, no he doesn't. He's sacked.
More gold jackets at the next level with Patrick Willis and Dave Wilcox at linebacker. Is Fred Warner the next to join? You'll see Dion out at corner. And yes, he only played 1 year with the Niners, but was 1994's Defensive Player of the Year and led the team to its 5th Super Bowl. He gets our vote.
Intercepts. He's in for 6 points for San Francisco.
Many regard Ronnie Lott as the greatest safety to ever lace him up. He was the heart and soul of those great defenses in the 80s. 7 return touchdowns in a 5-year span puts Abe Woodson on the Niners' all-time team. And from 1977 to 1987, no player in the NFL scored more points than kicker Ray Wersching. So there you have it, a full rundown of every franchise's ultimate lineup. Who got snubbed? Who has the best team?
You guys are awesome.
Love you, dude.
Drop us a comment below. As always, a huge thank you for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.